Welcome to the Day Clean Devotion Queen podcast. Each week, our podcast episodes breathe life into selected themes from the DDQ Meditation Journal. Hosted by our founder, Najma Thomas, we engage in heartfelt discussions with a diverse roster of inspirational Queen sisters. We explore their unique perspectives, uncover the wisdoms shaped by their journeys, and celebrate the trials and victories along the way. Together, we are creating a womanifestation space where conversation meets examination and sparks transformation. Much better. Welcome back. Day Clean Devotion Queen podcast listeners. I am just delighted to bring you our featured guest for this week. We are being blessed with sharing the space with none other than Basu Blaksis Nefertem, aka Eboni Holmes, the BlackSiS. Welcome, BlackSiS. Welcome, Queen Sis.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so glad to be here with you.
We're so delighted to have you here with us. And for our podcast listeners, y'all know the drill. I'm going to give you a little bit of the bona fides, a little bit of the credentials, and then we're going to get into our conversation. So BlackSiS was born in Boston, moved to Atlanta in 1998, always was an avid reader and writer, but she began writing with the intent to perform after a friend took her to the Yin Yang Cafe, which is more recently known as the Apache Cafe. And BlackSiS is an active member of her community, writes and works to free the minds of African people throughout the diaspora. She shared the stage with renowned artists such as Muta Baruka. Let's do that again.
Baruka, yes, Muta Baruka.
Muta Baruka. Not to be confused with Barack.
Right, yes.
Muta Baruka, Janelle Monae, and has performed on the TV series Spoken. BlackSiS has a powerful voice that penetrates souls and minds with Black love and Black power. She knows that words without action mean nothing, and so she continues to be diligent in community activism, Black economic sustainability, and repatriation efforts to Africa. She founded the Black Moses Freedom Festival, and I've had the joy of attending that festival a couple of times. It's in its 5th year, y'all. This festival celebrates our beloved Shiro, our Moses, Harriet Tubman, here in our hometown, South Carolina, and uses that wonderful history to promote health, wellness, and sustainability in the Lowcountry. BlackSiS is also an African-centered yoga instructor for over 9 years. She continues to curate events that involve culture, nature, and healing. This goddess has curated her way of life that holistically supports Africans at home and abroad in interconnecting, reconnecting, and reactivating the genetic codes that keep us whole and intertwined as one magnificent and magical people. Isn't that beautiful, y'all? Don't you just feel love? Don't you just feel wonderful hearing that outstanding bio? So again, welcome to the DQ space. BlackSiS. I wanna start with the same question I ask all of our featured guests, and that is, how did you start your day clean? What's your morning ritual or routine? Get the day going.
My morning ritual, whether I'm in my bed or up at my altar, is just giving thanks. Eyes opened again. So that's the first thing. Just giving thanks to the Most High, giving thanks to my ancestors who survived everything for me to be here, and just being in gratitude. That's how I start each day. I start each day in complete gratitude for life, for my family, for everything. And I think that just really sets the tone for me to keep a high energy because I ain't got to be here. But yet, here I am.
And yet here you are. And that high energy comes through, it vibrates through. We're just getting familiar with each other, but I can already get the vibrations the few times I've had the opportunity to interact with you. And I am not
Yeah.
surprised that you start each day kind of soaking your energy in that gratitude. What a wonderful way to get it going.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Hmm.
when we were first getting the call started, like all seeing y'all, DDQ audience, y'all don't hear everything. But we were talking about
Right.
not rushing through, not rushing, not worrying about, oh gosh, we're not right, starting at the exact time and not hustling. So I wanna start our conversation with that, Black Sis. What does what does it mean for you to create from a space of holistic wholeness and not from hustle? Like, what does creating from the soul mean for you, and how has that shown up in your journey?
For me, it comes from um, just I think of all of these what I call just they're just like my own personal proverbs, right? And one of those proverbs is that first, I can't lose. I can only learn.
Mm.
There is no losing. There's only learning. That helps me to calm down. And the other thing, another one is I don't have to be perfect. I just have to be authentic. That's it. And so with that, like today is just a perfect example of what I do when I feel like I'm hustling, right? So I went out to work today. I wanted to go drive. I went to a whole other side of town through traffic and everything, got over there, and it was like nothing for me to do. So I was like, oh, this is great. Brought me all the way over here to do some work, and now there's no work for me to do. So what do I
I love
do?
that.
I go to the woods. That's what I do. I said, oh, okay. I was in an area where it's Cascade Nature Preserve is over there. And I hadn't been there in years. And when I tell you, Spirit took me to this little gully that was across the stream, and I just stepped across the stones, and it was just me and the sound of the creek. And I just sat there. And I just sat there, and Spirit was just like, you weren't supposed to work today. So
I
doing the work.
you
Go
school here.
ahead.
Okay, so you went to school here. Yeah, 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 yeah,
I
yeah.
did because my family was constantly moving from Boston to Beaufort.
Oh,
My mom and dad wanted to make a life in Beaufort so bad, it just never worked. So we always had to end up going back, because it was just like, okay, this is too much. We're gone. But yeah, they wanted to, and we tried several times. Yeah, we tried several times. My family moved from Boston to Beaufort, and even when we weren't moving, we were always coming every year. Every year of my life, I believe we've always come to Beaufort, South Carolina. So that's always been this magical place. And then when I went to Sapelo Island, I was like, oh, this is just like Beaufort, but it's off the coast of Georgia. How interesting is that? And then learning their stories, like, oh, this something going on here because these are the same people. And so when I went
right.
to Sapelo, we went with the linguistics department of Georgia State, and that's when they actually made the declaration that the Gullah Geechee language is a language and not broken English. And that was like for
Boom.
me,
Mind blowing.
because when I went to Boston with this Buford tongue, oh
Right.
baby, I was
Yeah.
teased so
Of
bad that I
course.
couldn't wait to get rid of it. I could not wait to get it out of my mouth
Same,
because I felt so much shame.
same. That you want them
And
saltwater Geechee, you sound like you ain't got no. Yes.
what's a street? What's a street? There ain't no K in street. Like, boy, shut up. But but yeah, yeah. So
So
um
it was the comedic, not the comedic. You tell me again how you're describing the
yeah,
yoga.
it
That
is Kemetic or Egyptian yoga,
comedic.
African-centered yoga that I took a certification here in Atlanta that brought me back to Sapelo Island because I didn't know how to go back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, well, what
Yeah.
do I do? But unfortunately, Cornelia Bailey had passed away. But what I did is I had connection with her family, so I made
Yes.
sure that every time we did these trips, we always stayed with family. whether
Mm-hmm.
it was her son Maurice or her nephew JR, but we made it sure that we stayed with the family so that the money would be going to them. So then I
Absolutely.
started finding out about the gentrification that was happening on the island. So then it became more than just a retreat, but an activist moment, an activism moment that we're doing this on purpose, make sure that we're giving the money to them, make sure that we're doing the tours with them, supporting the store, doing everything that we could as far as that way to just support the descendants in Sapelo Island to keep it, so that they can keep their beautiful land. And
Absolutely.
and so that's how it started. Like I said, it started doing that, and then I was doing different things here, like in Macon at Okmulgee Mounds and at Amicalola Falls up in Ellijay and all these different places. And then um all of it brought me back home because one night I was having insomnia and I couldn't sleep and I saw the movie Harriet. I did not want to see that movie. I didn't want to see another slavery movie. Okay. But insomnia make you do some strange things. So I said, let me just put it on. Girl, love the movie.
Loved
When I
it,
said
huh?
I cannot believe that I did this to this film, I was listening to all the back of, oh, she's not American and da 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 da. And just like,
All
I don't want to hear
about,
nothing else anyway. But I
yeah.
saw that in the last scene when it had that paragraph and everybody's running to the boat and it said Beaufort, I said, what
And now
Beaufort?
the
I know
worst
good well, I know you're not talking about my Beaufort because I
part,
would know this was
it
my
just said,
Beaufort.
where's part two? And what Beaufort? How? And then it stops. And you're like, what? Wait, wait,
Girl, I was
wait,
I was like that. I was just like that, like,
wait.
wait a minute, wait, wait, wait. So then did not sleep that night because now I'm online and I'm like, what? So you
Yeah.
mean to tell me that I've been to an oyster festival, I've been to a water festival, and I've never been to a Harriet Tubman festival? Are
And
you
Beaufort,
kidding me? So that's when God was like, well, shit, well, who is they? I said, why didn't they? And God said, well, who is they?
because that's
You
us.
must be they. You must be they that's gonna do it because ain't no they. Why they didn't do it? That's your people. That's your home of your forefathers and mothers too. Like you're gonna have to do it. And I was like, well, I don't what? But I just listened. And I was so fired up about it, and it was a lot of anger, right? It was definitely birthed in fire. It birthed through fire because I was upset that I
Yeah.
did not know this, that we weren't parading down the streets celebrating Harriet Tubman in Beaufort, South Carolina. And so I
Right.
found so much of rest in peace, Reverend Hodges' work.
Yeah. God bless him.
And yes, for sure. And because he's the one that excavated this for us, you
Mhm.
know? And so I was finding a lot of his work and different things. I saw that he was raising money for a monument and all this stuff like that. And I was like, it's the time. It's
Yeah.
the time. And so I started creating a logo and I took the continent of Africa and put the symbol for South Carolina inside of that. And I was like, okay, yep, that's it. Because Harriet Tubman was her name, Araminta was a Ghanaian name. And it's just, that's the reason we're Gullah Geechee is because of our connection with Africa and the indigenous. And that's
Right.
my opinion, right? The Africa and indigenous. We can't just separate that.
No.
So yeah, I just started thinking, I thought of the logo first
Yeah.
and I just started working on what do I want this to be? And so at the time we were going through COVID and
Yes.
I had lost I hadn't experienced death. I hadn't experienced death. Um, I was 30 something years. Well, no, I was in my 40s, but I had been 35 years since I'd lost anyone close to me. And during COVID,
Mhm.
I lost seven. I lost
My good.
people. I lost three of my closest aunties, my mentor. I lost uncles. We lost friends and family in Boston, people that pretty much raised me. And so and it was from preventable diseases, though,
Mhm.
right? They had the contraindications of pre-existing
The
diseases
morbidity.
that could have been prevented. So
Yeah.
that's what made me say, okay, so I want to take this history and use it as a platform to promote health and wellness because those are people that passed away. But I knew many, many more family members that were sick with diabetes, high blood pressure, lost a leg, lost a foot. It was just and so I realized that the epidemic. And so there was this report that I read called Together for Beaufort 2020, 2020. And it talked about all the different things. It tells you your statistics, demographics, it tells you the
Yeah.
things that's needed as far as health outcomes and things like that to improve those things. So really, I took my festival and I shaped it around what was needed to improve the quality of life of the people, the reduction of food deserts, the getting outside and moving your body around, the the education for economic empowerment and opportunity. And so I looked at that, and that's kind of what I used. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take this history and use it as a platform to promote heritage, health, wellness, economic development, mental health and wellness, agricultural sustainability. Like I just wanted to use that platform to promote everything that I know that could take us to the next level. Because if we don't change our health outcomes, there is no real wealth without health. Because if you can't enjoy it, what does it matter how much money you have? Like the real wealth is our being able to be healthy and strong like we've
Yeah.
always been. And we got to start showing our kids that there's other ways that you can eat that is healthy, that is delicious, that is vibrant, and that's going to bring you more life and not less.
So tell me, like, so this is an interesting part of about creating, right? And birthing a vision from conceptualization stage to, incubation and then bringing it to fruition and seeing it happen. And along the
Mhm.
way, you're saying I started the logo and it did this. There's a lot that goes on in between that. And you just listed out a whole lot of things that, you wanted to have your creation sort of try to address. How do you, like, looking back over the last couple of years and looking at your creative process, how do you kind of let me ask this question, you have to put guardrails around your creative vision so that something can come to pass? Or do you lean on partnerships? Like, how do you bring it from this idea you have in your mind to this festival that's happening in front of us?
Partnerships.
Hmm.
Partnerships were key to me because I just had an idea. I didn't have the money, I didn't have a space, I didn't have nothing but a vision. And I just started sharing that vision with different people. And then I was at our family reunion. I remember that year we did our family reunion, fell right on Juneteenth. And my cousin that I hadn't met before, my eldest aunt's daughter, Vanessa, who lives in Texas, she had came. And us meeting, we were just like this. Like she was so much like me. I was into yoga, she was into Reiki, we were into crystals and copper and all this different stuff. So it was like just finding a soulmate in your family. Like, yes, we're the only ones that's like us. God, let's help our family. Let's heal our family together. Yes.
Let's
So,
break these generational chains.
yes. Oh my God, together we can do it. Like I thought I was alone. She's like, I thought I was alone. And so it was like, let's do this work. And so, and during that family reunion, we had did a lot of work. Like we actually went to because my great grandfather and my grandfather are in the memorial cemetery down there on what is it called? You know what I'm talking about. The Veterans.
On Boundary National Cemetery.
Yes, there you go. That's what I'm looking for, the National Cemetery. So my
Yeah.
great grandfather, World War One, my grandfather, World War Two, right? So we were there and I had this, there's a place here in Atlanta called Rosaki Temple, and she has this beautiful liberation prayer. This is something I did on Sapelo as well. This liberation prayer is phenomenal. It releases everyone just liberates people from things that they've done. It's like I I liberate you from things that you've done, things that you said that hurt people on purpose or by mistake. Because sometimes we're hurting people and we're not even knowing. So such a powerful thing. And when our family was going to the graveyards to the National Cemetery, I did that prayer there. Then we went to our family graveyard, and I did that prayer there. And it was really, really powerful to for us to stand there and do that. And then one of my cousins was like, he's an elder because I got a lot of old cousins that's like 84, 85,
God bless you.
77. Yes. And he was like, we need something like this here. Like, this what y'all doing. I just feel like it's really important. He's a pastor. And so it was really unusual for him to say that, right? But
Very
he felt
encouraging.
something.
That is
Hmm.
encouraging to have a pastor being open to that
Yeah.
kind of practice.
Exactly. And so it was really, he was like, you need to do something here. And I was like, okay, well, let me think about it. And I said, oh, I've been working on this thing. I got this logo. I got this idea about this festival that I would love to do, and we're gonna, do libations and talk about the ancestors and all this different stuff. And he was like, well, yeah, that sounds good. So from him encouraging me to do that, I created a proposal, right? That I wanted to just shop to people. I would just send to people and say, hey, what do you think about this? And so I sent it to the Black Chamber.
Mhm.
And at the time, Kevin Holman was there and he read it and he emailed me back like, hey, let's have a meeting. This sounds really interesting. Like, I think we could use something like this. And I was like, okay. So I met with him and I met with his dad, Larry, at the time. And well, no, I met with Kevin first, right? And then he said his father called me to the office. He said, I want you to see something. So when I went to his office, he had like a life-size painting of Harriet Tubman in there. And he was like, we're definitely gonna do this.
Look at that.
That's one of
He's
my favorite. We're definitely gonna do this. And so that was like the key in. And they donated their entire building to me in kind. And I was like, I want to use the whole building. I said, this is such a beautiful space. Have you guys ever used a whole building at one time? Like, not really. And I was like, well, let's do it. I want to use upstairs. I want to do yoga. In the studio that they got on the third floor, I was like, sound bowls. I want sound bowls ringing in there. On the second floor, we're going to do film screenings and we're going to do a dinner in there. On the bottom floor, we're going to have workshops over here where we're making medicine like sea moss and elderberry syrup. And over here, we're going to have an open mic. Outside, we're going to have vendors all over the yard. Because he was like, well, we own this greenery over here and over there. I'm like, yes, I see it. I see it. Be ready. This is how we're going to do it. And it was like, I think you're a bit ambitious. And I'm like, but why not? Why not be ambitious? This is a beautiful thing that we need to share with the community. Like, but they was like, okay, well, we're going to if you can make it work, you can make it work. So I was talking with the National Park Service. I talked with the Gullah Geechee Cultural Heritage Corridor. I was just building partnerships.
yeah.
Partnerships, and everyone loved the idea so much that they were donating their time, their energy. And then I found a descendant of Harriet Tubman living right here in Georgia. And I was like, you know what, God? Okay, you want me to do Miss Rita Daniels. So she came and she was our first keynote speaker with all the information that she had from her family being a descendant of Harriet Tubman. And that was just like, it was just like icing on the cake right there. So that was our first year. And then I just continued to build partnerships with people and inspire them about what we're doing here and how important it is and how needed it is and then how beautiful Beaufort is. Like I just kept telling everybody, you need to come to beautiful Beaufort. You need to come to beautiful Beaufort. So I had people from Georgia, from Florida, from from everywhere coming. Like, yeah, this is nice. So then the next year, we had the Pulitzer Prize winner Etta Fields Black guide our kayaking trip down the Combahee River. Didn't know she was going to be a Pulitzer Prize then, but I did know that she was writing a book, Combahee. So I was like, who better to lead us down the Combahee River but Dr. Etta Fields Black? So, and she came, she didn't charge us full price or anything like that. It has been complete partnerships and people feeling the energy of what we're trying to do. That's the only reason I've been able to do that. So we did that 3 years at the Black Chamber, and we have actually inspired the Black Chamber to start the Grace Initiative. The Grace Initiative is the child of the Black Moses Freedom Festival and the work that we did there. And I know you were in that meeting.
Oh, yeah, I was. I heard the question. So that's interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It would not even exist if it wasn't for the work that we were doing because it's good work.
And
It's good work and needed
that's
work.
that's what good work does. It inspires other good work. If if it's being done in the way that you're describing, collaboratively with partnerships and with intention, it's going to inspire other good works. And we love this because there's plenty
Yeah.
of good work to go around, right? It's
Yes, and it is. It is. And no one needs to capitalize on it. And we don't have to be in competition because it is enough for all of us. And I was so inspired at that grant. awardee meeting because everyone in there, except there was 10 of us in there, only 3 of them were not at some point connected with the Black Moses Freedom Festival. Tendaji is the one who came to me when I told him I wanted to join with he was at the Gullah Geechee corridor then. He said, let's do kayaking. I was like,
Mhm.
yes, let's do kayaking. Because we were already doing the trip to the Combahee River by bus at the Harriet Tubman Bridge. But if we could
Right.
get on that water,
And did
for sure.
get on.
So Mahogany X and her husband did our music. The second
Mhm.
year we had Dale Green. He's actually a descendant of Harriet Tubman and Frederick Douglass, and he's a part of the Black architects that built the Penn Center. When I tell you, God has been having everything just connected. So now we're at the Penn Center, which was built in 1862, and Harriet Tubman came to Beaufort in 1862. So listen, it's all been doing what it's supposed to do.
Right. Beautiful alignment from start to finish so far, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And we're just getting started.
You
This is going
getting
to be our 5th year. I'm like,
you
I
just
can't believe next year is going to be year 5.
year 5, and but it probably feels like a long, short time, right? A long,
Very
so
short. When I tell you, I'm still like,
it's
because I
absolute
don't know how. I don't
not
know how we've been doing it, but we've been doing it.
grace to
Grace and
continue
partnerships.
great.
Grace and partnerships.
So what would you say you've learned? Like, what are some of the biggest takeaways from this effort? Like, what wisdom would you share with, say, you're talking to a member of the DDQ community? They're at the end
Mhm.
of their own vision. You know, maybe they got a logo in hand, maybe they have the idea for it, but they're afraid to leap. What wisdom would you share with that queen sister who's on the edge of her own vision?
I would tell her to pray to the Most High God and to her ancestors for the strength and to just jump, to
Mm.
just leap, to just leap. Sometimes you don't know all the ways and all the steps that and then we end up taking so much time trying to be perfect
You
and we
said
end up
something,
stunted.
Alexis. You said you don't
I don't
you
have to be perfect. It's on my wall right here. I don't have to be perfect. I just have to be authentic.
come
That's it. And I think that's what people have been feeling from me, and that's why they've been partnering with me because they feel an authenticity. Like I'm not putting on any airs. I am who I am. I'm not perfect. I'm learning. I don't have funding like that. I ain't got the money, baby. I ain't got it. I
on.
ain't got it.
But you have everything you need to create everything you want.
I got everything that I need, and everything is not about money. Some people can have the money, but without the essence and the energy, it doesn't mean anything. We the real currency. We're the real
Absolutely.
currency. Like we have to really understand that the currency is not the dollars and coins, baby. The currency, yes,
Yeah, we're it. We've always been it.
we're the
Um,
real currency.
and the sooner we adopt that wholeheartedly, collectively, I think the better
Oh
off we'll
man.
be.
Oh, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a
We
real
make
good time. We have a just kicking good time, honey.
yeah,
Like we was over there for the Busky Island. When I tell you we had a good time out there, ooh
that's
we
beautiful.
did.
So
Yeah,
you
we're the real currency.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, y'all. I mean, listeners chime in on that note. We're it. One of our listeners likes to say, so and so has money's mama. She doesn't have money. She got money's mama. Well,
Mm,
we're money's mama. We don't
right.
have to worry about what we don't have because we make it. We
And I
make it.
also want to inspire them to find some people that believe in you and your dream. Don't let these naysayers stop you and tell you all the things that could go wrong. You got to get around some other people that believe in magic, baby, because that's
Mm,
what it is. And that's what it's going to take. They have to believe that we can make something out of nothing because we've been doing it for infinity and beyond. We will make
yeah.
something out of nothing. It's okay. If you have that faith instead of fear, you got to replace that fear with faith and go ahead on out there.
Yeah. And remember that we made something out of, right? Because it really should not be, which is why I love how the culture keepers such as yourself and others pull the history back to us, because it should not be that hard for us to have the kind of faith that we need right now if we
Mm,
remember what our
you
ancestors
do.
already accomplished. Like the blueprint, the
Are
black
you
print
kidding me?
there for us already. It is
We going
not a
down
stretch.
yellow brick roads now, baby. Our ancestors had to pave the dirt. They had to weed whack through.
They
Come
did
on
the
now.
work. They did that work for us. And so it's not this stretch of the imagination for us to think about us ourselves as the currency. That's not a stretch of the imagination. It
It's
is
not. It's not.
remembering Sankofa. You gotta
It's a fact.
it's a
It is a real fact that we are the currency. We built this country. This
yeah,
country is the greatest country in the world because of us,
so many of our
because of
countries.
what we've done here.
Yeah, yeah. So let us
Listen,
lean
it's,
into
it's because
lean into and savor that goodness.
hmm Yes, ma'am.
Before we get to closing, you talked a lot about the signature creative work of yours, this labor of love, the Black Moses Freedom Festival. But I know you're working on some other things as well, Queen Sis. Share with us a little bit about some of your other efforts and offerings, your soul work that you're engaged in right now.
Okay. Well, I am starting back my fourth year at Arabian Mountain Nature Preserve doing classes. I'll always do these Black August classes because we want to commemorate Black August and all of our political prisoners, and that's another fight for liberation. Um, so really, when it comes down to it, that's really what I'm about. I'm about 360 degrees holistic liberation. That means mental, physical, artistic, economical, every is agricultural, every level of liberation, right? And so I'm working with descendants of Sapelo Island right now because we want to do Black superhero costume and culture trail ride. So we're doing a camp out and trail ride out there. And I'm excited about that. Having people out there with their tents and our
Okay,
costumes. And
that's
that's gonna be
wonderful.
on Halloween for Halloween. So that'll be Halloween weekend.
Listen
Yep, and
up.
then Saturday they'll do a trip with that's limited space to go actually to Sapelo Highland because we'll be in Townsend, Georgia on some black land there. And then people that want to go, it'll only be limited seats, like I said, to go to Sapelo Island for the day excursion, foraging, and the tour there. But we're just gonna have a good time. We're gonna make natural candy, like you know how we used to cook candy at the house and do candy
Yeah.
apples, and, chocolate covered fruit and different things like that. And I'm gonna have performances and vendors and of course the black cowboys and things like that and just be out in nature having a good time. I'm always trying to make sure that we are connected with nature. I just feel like it's such an important part of our power. And when we
Yeah.
think about, even when it comes to biblical terms, like before Christ did his greatest work, he spent 40 days and 40 nights. Where at?
In the forest, outside, in the where God is. That's where
Where
he
God is, where
where the
God is,
where God
and where
is.
our healing is. Because when we
Yeah.
think about healing, everything that we need to heal ourselves is in nature. So if you just sit in your root chakra on the earth, baby, you are getting some healing vibes. You are getting some healing vibes all up and down your spinal
Sit
cord
your
and
root chakra. Sit your root chakra on the earth, y'all.
on the roots. On the roots. Yes. Yes, ma'am. And so this has been something that has just been revealed to me time and time again. That the more that we connect and put our hands in the dirt, that's why I'm so happy to partner with you. And that's like a every year thing. We will be bringing people to your farm to get their hands in the dirt, learn about plants, learn about how to grow our own food because we have been self-sustainable by force, right?
I'm glad about it, not about the force, but about the fact that it is second nature for us, and at least for
Right,
us
right. And because we had
to
to.
do.
And I think we need to remember that again, that now we don't have to, but you should. If you want the best, healthiest food for you and your family, it will be in the dirt of soil that your hands and your dead skin cells fell into. So I'll be getting into the scientific part of it, right? Because I'm a healthcare worker for 30 years. When I think about your cells falling in that land and then you growing that tomato, that is the best tomato you could ever eat because it is literally has your genetic code in that. So I
Isn't
talk
that
about
beautiful?
genetic activation is really real.
Isn't
They
that a
talk about
beautiful?
epigenetics. That's
Yeah,
all it is.
we'll take that. Well,
Yeah.
I'll take a bit of my essence repurposed by Mother Nature, her own self.
Yes, ma'am. I'm telling you. And so that's why we talk about the Center for Heirs Property Preservation and us keeping our land because there is
Mhm.
power in that. There's
Yeah.
power in Africa. They buried their people up under the house. They literally living on top of their ancestors. It's a powerful type of thing. We shouldn't have our ancestors miles away from us. They should be close. They should be on the land where we are. Because again, those genes, that genetic, that DNA is in that soil. So it's,
So,
it's
oh,
it's passionate about it.
I can't tell. I can't tell. Where's your passion, Queen? Where's your excitement? Where is your energy?
Yes, ma'am. So, and I'm always creating different types of events that have to do with that, right? I want to land, legacy, art, outside nature, and and music, but music is art. So long as we got those things, I'm gonna be creating something that's in that area with education in there. So we're gonna have some fun, we're gonna learn some things, and we're gonna connect with nature.
And that's living. And
That's
on
living.
oh, how can the good people, how can our audience, our DD community get in touch with you, learn about, if they're just now learning about the Black Moses Freedom Festival, if they want to get in on that Ancestor Day action over in
Yes,
Sapelo, if they get some community
yes.
yoga, if they want to figure out where you're getting this authentic energy, how can they work with you, Black Sis?
Yeah, so I am on all platforms as Black Moses Freedom Festival, and that's also www.blackmosesfreedomfestival.com. You can find events tab there that'll let you know about our yoga classes and different things like that. And Sacred Space Egyptian Yoga tab is on there as well. Because I was like, I'm not about to have all these different websites. You go to Black Moses Freedom Festival, you can find all my stuff.
There you
And
go. One
right,
stop,
I still do Eventbrite.
one stop shopping.
One-stop shopping because we're not about to do all that. So the other thing is Eventbrite, and you can find the costume party, the costume and culture camp out and trail ride, Black Superhero, and that's Heru like Heru, like Heru. That's,
Love it.
I always got to put that little comedic slide in there. But it's also that's where they get hero from. They get hero, someone's a superhero from Heru in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So we just taking it back. And so yeah, so Eventbrite, I'm on also on Facebook, and my mama them named me Eboni Holmes. So I'm on Facebook and that, and then I'm BlackSiS the Goddess. That's my Egyptian yoga page. And that's BlackSiS, BLAKSIS. Ain't no C in there. So yeah, so that's everything that I have on social media and things like that. And you can find anything that you need there. We have t-shirts, we have other events that are coming up and all of that good stuff out there.
That's
Yes.
beautiful. Queen Sis, y'all get plugged in. Scroll down on the episode notes and you will see the links that Black Sis just dropped for us. And I encourage you to get engaged. I know that you heard something on this episode that spoke to your spirit, that stirred your soul. Don't keep it to yourself, Queen Sis. Share. Sharing is caring. And I want to
Yeah.
say again to you, Black Sis, thank you so much for joining us, for bringing your energy and your enthusiasm to the DDQ podcast. We hope to have you back again in the future. And
Yeah.
we'll be seeing you
Next
again.
time I'll do some poetry.
Okay. We're going to hold you to it. We're going to hold you to it.
Yes.
We love
Yes,
it.
ma'am. Yes,
Live.
ma'am.
Live. Sam, come on. Okay, well, if for us for this episode, I want to encourage you all to have a fantastic remainder of your week. I hope that it is everything you need it to be. I hope you take some good energy with you wherever you are. And again, thanks so much for plugging in. Until next time, be well and take
All
care.
right. Peace and blessings.